Listen. So everybody knows that Spider-Verse changed the game when it comes to animation, that they pretty much made Pixar hand down the crown. And a couple years ago, the team behind it made another movie that I think continues their reign. And even in the new Spider-Verse, have a secret Easter egg in there giving it a shout out. The Mitchells vs. the Machines has producers Lord and Miller and the directors who worked on Gravity Falls teaming up to make what was one of my favorite animated movies of that year. It was originally titled Connected for Sony before being sold to Netflix, who changed the name for better SEO. But to me, it's worth the combo price even if it is streaming at home. It's great that it is on Netflix though, since there's a bunch of Easter eggs that can only be spotted if you freeze frame, hidden jokes, fast gags, and even a secret robot language that's posted up all throughout the film. Let me explain.
Sorry.
One! Mitchell
Family.
So pretty much the movie revolves around the Mitchells and the journey that they go on when the eldest, Katie, gets accepted into her dream school, amidst a phone upgrade that just so happens to spawn the robo-apocalypse. It's like College Road Trip meets Rise of the Machines. Abbi from Broad City voices the film-obsessed Katie, who has her own YouTube channel and even befriends other real-life YouTubers over Zoom. She's rocking socks with the carpet from The Shining, has her own Criterion collection called The K Collection, featuring her versions of Hitchcock's Dial M for Murder, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, and even a dog version of Y Tu Mamá También. You know, it's just a Dat Piff remix of every classic, which is how every film student begins. She even has her own Mount Rushmore, featuring Ashby, Gerwig, Ramsey, and even Celine, who she homages in her rendition of Portrait of an Idiot on Fire. Her energy also pops out, literally through the animation style, which the filmmakers refer to as Katie Vision, really putting you into her headspace of emotions and normalizing her look.
My parents haven't figured me out yet. To be fair, it took me a while to figure myself out.
Until they edited it out overseas. Her brother Aaron is actually voiced by the director, as he plays an animated version of himself who's too obsessed with dinosaurs.
No! I hate dinosaurs and I hate you! Bye forever!
In my opinion, they also took like 33 jabs at Disney when they stop at that store and check out their version of The Good Dinosaur, because like, look at that D. I mean, it's not like they didn't try to taint Lord and Miller's name by calling them unprepared and unprofessional when they had them go solo, so I dig the dig. It's not like they could be fired again.
And I know what you're thinking.
Who would have thought a tech company wouldn't have our best interest at heart?
Mrs. Mitchell is the loving and caring mother who still finds herself loathing and comparing herself to the neighbors on Facebook, who, of course, would be voiced by Chrissy Teigen and her husband. She's always in the background encouraging, pulling a Kill Bill and a Kano when there's a threat, and even mothering AI, who she doesn't fully trust but knows that they need guidance.
We have an Alexa in our house, and I feel like I don't know how that got voted in, but that thing is going to destroy me. She scares me a lot.
The real inspiration for the family comes from the director Michael Rianda's own family, down to the dog, their passions, and even their clothing.
Your dad is like his whole look and everything like your dad, or just some of his personality?
He looks exactly like my dad. We brought in, to the 3D modeling department, I brought my dad's jacket and I was like, make this! During
the press tour, he told a story of his dad being a woodsman who built bathtubs out in the woods, and while he saw it weird growing up, he noticed how much joy it would bring people when they found them. And that's exactly what his passion did when he was making all of his crazy little films, noticing that he had a lot more in common with his dad than he realized.
You're a lot like him, you know?
That's crazy.
That aspect of embracing your family, no matter how weird they come off, is represented through the credits with all the family pictures, pushing the idea that it's not a movie about people fighting, but getting along. You know, in the midst of a robo-uprising, Eric André voices a character meant to parody every tech company, and where PAL ships like Amazon, it drives like Tesla, freezes like LG, uploads like Google, updates in the background like Apple, and blows up like Samsung.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe because you designed my replacement on my face!
The impeccable Olivia Colman voices the original AI assistant who's trying to get revenge by threatening to turn off the Wi-Fi, which would cause chaos to humanity, which is true. I mean, we're so obsessed with it that we're putting it up on the moon. Without it, I wouldn't even be able to finish the
Human Fun Pods. Who here likes fun?
Every machine with a chip starts to join the uprising, which is scary because these new chips that companies are creating, they're not just powerful, they're putting them in everything. And when you consider that Apple's new ones don't just mean less oversight for the company, but that they can also be more vulnerable, yeah, then some serious issues start to arise. That said, it was these two robots who stole the show for me. They had Beck, Bennett, and Fred Armisen improving their way into some of the best bits, and they even have a video series where they answer questions.
Do you stand BTS? We would never stand on BTS.
These guys seem dumber than the other robots.
Ah, they're androids. Luckily, the Mitchells walk around like Tommy Pickles and have the tools to take them down. They get attacked by Furbies, but end up hanging them like Sandler did his gems, and learn that it's their differences that make them stand out from the generic human who follows the algorithm set before them.
Have you ever seen a movie where the heroes just give up?
That's also true in their animation, and where they turn their line textures into 3D, even purposely going out of their way to make sure that each shot looked different.
I would do this test where I would take like 3 recent animated movies and like I had them on little pieces of paper and I would hold them next to the screen. And I was like, it doesn't quite look different enough yet.
And that's why it's full of gags. From Best Buy in this world being called Good Get, their Hidden Valley being called Quiet Glen, Mountain Dew is Mountain Rush, and that hidden robo language that can be deciphered through the location titles, which someone even made a font for, so you could download it and boop up beep your way with other people. My personal favorite would be the Blade Runner quote from one of the robots.
All those moments will be lost in time.
Overall, it's not a movie that belittles technology, but does warn on how it can consume us. Those same companies that make advancements can also take advantage, and the same tech that can connect us can also distract us. Mr. Mitchell left behind his passion in order for his new love to follow hers. They just miscommunicated along the way.
I am experiencing it. This is how I experience things.
I didn't know art could be useful.
Well, who knew having a 500-year-old car could be useful?
Mrs. Mitchell captured all their moments on their camcorder growing up and still records everything. She just learns that her family is picture perfect just the way they are. And it's that same itch for filming that gets her daughter into school. It's all their crazy interactions that make them stand out, makes them creative, makes them connected. And it's those memories caught on tape that let those moments live on forever.
Don't hide your feelings, man. That's no way to live.
Thank you all for checking out this video. I'm curious to know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Like I said, it is jam-packed with a bunch of Easter eggs, so if there's anything that you found in the fine print, any of the freeze frames that you could have stopped on, like I said, I like all of the film references that they have, that you can see it all on the laptop. Even the dog was based on the, like we said, it was based on the directors, but it was voiced by Doug the Pug, who has more followers than most of us will ever have. There was also a cool little Easter egg with Chris Miller, who's done this, I believe, since one of the Jump Streets, where he coughs at the beginning, so it makes it seem like somebody, like it's coming from the audience or something. Obviously, I don't think this one played in theaters, but it probably would have hit. You could hear it right after the Netflix logo. Other than that, though, I'm curious to know your thoughts down below on this movie or any others, because we are in a golden age of cinema when it comes to animation. Like, there are so many great projects coming out. I know I'm excited for the moment where we are going to get an Oscar-winning Best Picture that's animated. So, until next time, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and we'll keep making videos
On YubTub?